The Book of Daniel, a prophecy of faith. Jerusalem weeps, a city cloaked in shadows, besieged by the iron fist of Nebuchadnezzar. From her ravaged streets, young men of noble birth are taken, carried away to the opulent yet alien land of Babylon. Among them, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, their hearts heavy but their spirits unbroken. Daniel, a man of unwavering faith, resolves in his heart not to defile himself with the king's rich food and wine. He seeks permission from the chief official to abstain, a humble request born of deep conviction. "Test us for 10 days, he pleads. "Give us only vegetables to eat and water to drink." The official, though sympathetic, fears the king's wrath. "I am afraid of my lord the king, who has assigned your food and drink. Why should he see you looking worse than the other young men your age? The king would then have my head because of you." Yet, God favors Daniel and his companions. At the end of 10 days, they appear healthier and better nourished than all the young men who ate the royal food. Their faith is rewarded, their resolve strengthened. Nebuchadnezzar, in his pride, erects a towering golden image, commanding all to bow down and worship. A decree echoes through the land. Whoever does not fall down and worship will immediately be thrown into a blazing furnace. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, steadfast in their devotion to the one true God, refuse to bow. Their loyalty is not to earthly kings, but to the King of Kings. "We will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up." Enraged, Nebuchadnezzar orders the furnace heated 7 times hotter than usual. He commands his strongest soldiers to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and throw them into the blazing inferno. But as the flames roar, a miracle unfolds. Nebuchadnezzar rises in astonishment. "Look!" he exclaims. "I see 4 men walking around in the fire, unbound and unharmed, and the 4th looks like a son of the gods." The 3 men emerge from the furnace, untouched by the flames. Not a hair on their heads is singed, their clothes are not scorched, and there is no smell of fire on them. Nebuchadnezzar, humbled by this divine intervention, proclaims, "Praise be to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and rescued his servants. There is no God who can save like this." Years pass, and Belshazzar, Nebuchadnezzar's successor, hosts a lavish feast, desecrating the sacred vessels taken from the temple in Jerusalem. As the drunken revelry reaches its peak, a disembodied hand appears and writes on the wall. Terror grips Belshazzar. His face grows pale, and his knees knock together. He cries out for his enchanters, astrologers, and diviners to interpret the mysterious writing, but none can decipher its meaning. In desperation, the queen remembers Daniel, a man known for his wisdom and understanding. Daniel is summoned, his presence commanding respect even in the midst of chaos. With solemn dignity, Daniel rebukes Belshazzar for his arrogance and sacrilege. He then reveals the meaning of the inscription. Mene, Mene, Tekel, Parsin. This is what these words mean. Mene, God has numbered the days of your reign and brought it to an end. Tekel, you have been weighed on the scales and found wanting. Parsin, your kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. That very night, Belshazzar, king of the Babylonians, is slain, and his kingdom falls to the Medes and Persians, fulfilling the prophecy written on the wall. Darius, the new king, appoints Daniel to a high position in his government, earning the envy of other officials. Seeking to discredit him, they devise a cunning plan. They persuade Darius to issue a decree forbidding anyone from praying to any god or man except the king for 30 days. The penalty for disobedience is to be thrown into the lion's den. Daniel, unwavering in his faith, continues to pray to God 3 times a day, kneeling before the open windows of his upper room. His enemies, lying in wait, catch him in the act and report him to Darius. Darius, though fond of Daniel, is bound by his own decree. With a heavy heart, he orders Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den. "May your God, whom you serve continually, rescue you," he cries out. That night, Darius cannot sleep, tormented by worry for Daniel. But God sends his angel to shut the mouths of the lions, and Daniel remains unharmed throughout the night. At dawn, Darius rushes to the lion's den and calls out to Daniel, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to rescue you from the lions?" Daniel answers, "My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight." Overjoyed, Darius orders Daniel to be lifted from the den. He then commands that Daniel's accusers, along with their families, be thrown into the lion's den, where they are devoured instantly. Darius issues a new decree. "In every part of my kingdom, people must fear and reverence the God of Daniel, for he is the living God, and he endures forever. His kingdom will not be destroyed, his dominion will never end." Daniel, a man greatly loved by God, receives profound visions of the future, glimpses into the unfolding of God's plan for humanity. He sees beasts rising from the sea, representing earthly kingdoms and their rulers. He beholds a vision of one like a son of man, coming on the clouds of heaven, approaching the Ancient of Days. To him is given dominion, glory, and kingship, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion that will not pass away, and his kingdom is one that will never be destroyed. The angel Gabriel appears to Daniel, explaining the meaning of the visions. He interprets the prophecies of the ram and the goat, foretelling the rise and fall of empires. He reveals the prophecy of the 70 weeks, a timeline pointing to the coming of the Messiah. Daniel sees visions of apocalyptic wars, famines, and tribulations, a time of great distress such as has not happened from the beginning of nations until then. He witnesses the resurrection of the dead, some to everlasting life, others to everlasting contempt. Daniel, having faithfully served God throughout his long life, awaits the fulfillment of the prophecies he has received. He is assured that he will rest and then rise to receive his allotted inheritance at the end of the age. Though the world may be filled with turmoil and uncertainty, Daniel's life stands as a testament to the power of faith, the faithfulness of God, and the hope of eternal life. His story echoes through the ages, inspiring believers to remain steadfast in their devotion, knowing that God's promises will ultimately be fulfilled. Even in the face of adversity, even in the midst of trials, hold fast to your faith. For the God of Daniel is still on the throne, and his kingdom will endure forever.